this is Sam Silverstein, and I'm just thrilled that Tom Fox, the compliance evangelist, is with us today, and we're in Houston. And when Tom and I get together, we're always talking about accountability, we're talking about ethics and compliance, and since we're in Houston, Tom, we need to talk about those 2017 World Series champion Houston Astros.
So I guess the only way to respond to that, Sam, is I am not accountable.
Oh my goodness, you sound just like the owner, Jim Crane, who said he's not accountable for any cheating that went on. How can the owner, how can the leader of an organization not be accountable for what goes on inside the organization?
And I suppose the follow-up question would be, why would you say that in a press conference to the world when you've admitted you cheated?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what he said, which is fascinating because he's just basically telling the world he doesn't care. And, we've talked about this a lot, and it seems to me that really there's two things going on. There's two positions. Either he knew it was going on or he didn't know it was going on. Now, that's pretty elementary. If he knew it was going on, then yes, he's responsible for that. There's no two ways about it. If he didn't know that it's going on, then, well, as a leader, do you think he's still accountable for that situation?
Actually, I find the latter example the more dangerous position, because if you don't know what's going on in your organization, you could have unethical conduct, you could have sign stealing and cheating, you could have illegal conduct. And at the end of the day, you're always accountable as a leader. There is no situation when the captain of a ship is not responsible for that ship. And Jim Crane is.
That reminds me of that ship captain a few years ago that the ship ran aground and he was like one of the first people off the ship. It's like, I'll see you later. I'm the captain, so I get the first lifeboat. What struck me during that interview was, as he was saying that, because I watched that, is, oh my gosh, this is not the kind of leader that I want to work for. This is not the kind of leader that I want to bust my chops to help be successful. I would have been moved in that moment if he'd have just stood up and he said, this is ridiculous. This whole thing is crazy. There's no reason for this to go on. We have enough talent on this team. Our players are good enough to win without this. I don't want a tainted World Series. I'm sending the trophy back, and I'm going to my team, and I'm telling them, listen, we have to double down our efforts this year, and we have to show that we deserve it, and we can win it without any of this cheating, without any of this nonsense. If he had done that, then I would have been like a fan for life, because I'm like, wow, I want to follow that kind of leader.
So I was a 5-year-old boy during that press conference, and I was the 5-year-old boy who asked Shoeless Joe Jackson, after he left the courthouse in the 1919 Black Sox scandal, say it ain't so, Joe. And Joe's response, it's so. Well, that was Jim Crane. It's so, and I'm not accountable for it. So where does that leave you? Where does it leave that 5-year-old kid who's followed the Astros for 55 years now? It leaves him with a broken team, a toxic culture, and a World Series trophy that should have been sent back.
Well stated. Here's the bottom line. If a leader can't create a culture that inspires accountability, then they'll never attract the best, retain the best. They'll never motivate their people to operate at the highest level of performance. But when you do create that kind of culture in an organization where people are inspired to be accountable, where they want to be accountable, they will go to the ends of the earth to help you as a leader be successful, to help the organization be successful. And that's exactly how accountability shows up on the bottom line.
Sam, this has brought one more reason to be accountable to my attention, which is, do you want to go through the rest of your life and indeed have on your tombstone, I was a cheater? Every Astro player, every Astro front office person, the manager, the general manager, the owner, for the rest of their lives, they'll be called cheaters. And it may be on their tombstones when they pass on to the great field of dreams in the sky. I cheated and we won the World Series.
And I wasn't accountable.
And I was not accountable.
Yeah,
I am not accountable.
Yeah, exactly. All right, listen, I think our viewers and our listeners get it. Let's not just make great decisions. When we mess up, if we do mess up, we find out that we messed up or someone on our team messes up, let's be accountable. Let's step up and do what's right. Let's fix it. Let's fix it fast. Let's create a culture in our organization that inspires people to want to do their best, and so they would never fall in the trap of even thinking about cheating.
Absolutely.
All right, Tom. Thanks for joining us. Great having this conversation, and I look forward to next time.
Thanks, Sam.